Do you feel like your life is going well in so many areas, and yet you still feel like there's something missing? Your bank accounts are filling up, you're a hero at work, you're looked up to and admired by your peers, and then at the end of the day you go home and your kids don't even say hi anymore, and your wife has a list of things for you to do a mile long. In your mind you think to yourself, don't they know how hard I work for them? I deserve some respect in my own home. So you grab a little food and you go lock yourself in your office and work even more, or you sit down in front of the TV until you drift off to sleep. You know, it might not even be as noticeable as that. It might be that when you look in the mirror, you just don't like the person that's looking back at you. You might have gained a little weight, aged a little, or maybe it's even deeper than that, and you're just not liking who you've had to become to get where you are now. Hello, I'm Vander, head adventurer at the Purpose Hunters, and I want you to know first that you're not alone. I spent many nights looking in the mirror, not even recognizing the person that was looking back at me, until one day I stopped and asked myself a question. And this one question changed everything. We'll get to what that question is in a minute, but first I want to tell you what got me to this question, and I want to show you how it changed me from living as a high achiever to finally stepping into a high performance life. This change encompassed every area of my life in ways that most people can only dream of. It all started with one question, a new way at looking at life that positions you to enjoy the things you value most, maybe even the things you don't even consciously realize are important to you, crash and burn and lose those things forever. This question never entered my mind until much later in my life, and I've wished over and over again I knew then what I'm about to share with you now. My quest for success started in 1993 when I got out of the military and decided to open a construction company with my dad. We started and we were on fire, with more work than we can handle. I was working 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. Then when I got home in the evening, I was handling all of the office work for the company, like preparing invoices, proposals, and keeping all of our financial records in order to making sure that we had work lined up in the future. Isn't success a driver? Most of us were taught at a very young age that if you wanted something, you needed to focus all your attention on it and do whatever it takes to achieve it, which I know is a great strategy for short-term goals. But let me tell you, working 12 hours a day for months and then years is not a winning formula for a happy wife or a happy life. And like I've lived most of my life, I was completely oblivious. Maybe you can relate. I'd try to take a day off here and there, but somehow that nagging feeling of I needed to work harder and don't take a break now would win over. I needed to be a success at any cost. As if running a business wasn't enough, I also had another huge goal. I wanted to be a helicopter pilot. I had a long-time fantasy of building the construction business that would become self-sustaining. Then I would follow my dreams and become a pilot. You can probably tell I wasn't really thinking anything through. I was driven by a lot of old ideas and a life of shoulds. At this time, I was actually taking 1 day a week off and had hired a couple people so I could sneak out a little early a couple days a week and go to school. So if you see what's happening here, I'm again working or going to school 7 days a week and still 15 plus hours a day. To top it all off, I was married with 2 young children. You might have noticed that I used the word was. By 1998, my marriage was over, and due to some very poor choices, the construction company was gone. I filed bankruptcy, and I haven't flown a helicopter since the end of 1997. You might be asking, why am I telling you all of this? It's because that high-achieving career path ultimately became my demise. I made choices for short-term, ego-based goals that ultimately cost me what I later realized were the most important goals in my life. Today, I know the secret to living a high-performance life. I'm married to the woman of my dreams. I've had the opportunity to travel the world and see some of the most amazing things. I have a career that is financially rewarding by doing something I never knew I wanted to until I gave up chasing the wrong kind of success. I wake up every day excited about what I get to do and who I get to do it with. All of this because I learned to ask a different kind of question. I know. What's the question? Well, let me share it with you. What is important to me, and how do I only do the things that support those things that are important to me? That's it. That's the question. As soon as I learned this very simple question, my whole life changed. And it didn't take years or months or even hours. It happens the second I got clear on the answer. Now, if you're ready to get clear on what that answer is to you and to live the high performance life that you've dreamed about since you were a child, then here's what I want you to do. Click on the link below and we'll set up a free Take Your Brakes Off session. In this 30-minute conversation, we are going to get down to business and find at least one thing that's important to you that you have been suppressing. Just knowing this will move you one step closer to living that high performance life you've always dreamed of. Remember, click below now and let's connect, because my dream for you is that instead of losing the things that are truly valuable to you in your life, like I did, you will step into and fully live this high performance life of your dreams.